What's up, guys? It is the Off the Bench College Football Show coming to you live on Championship Monday. That's right. We got the National Championship coming up here in just a little bit, just over an hour and 50 minutes remaining on the countdown clock. And we're here with you. I'm your host, Kelsey. I'm sitting to my left is co-host Richie Jones. And
Good evening.
Pops on the other side of the camera. We're here to just kind of talk and riff and answer any questions you guys have coming into the National Championship game. Just kind of hanging out on this Monday just after 5 o'clock here in North Alabama.
Just a little chilly here in North Alabama.
When they're calling for snow next weekend. We just missed out on the weekend snow that went south to us.
Yeah.
This past weekend, and now next weekend, already next Saturday, they're calling for snow, which is pretty normal this time here in North Alabama.
I was actually paying way too much attention to that just about an hour ago because the update came like right before I left work. There's 3 different weather models. One has us getting just a mere ½ inch of ice.
Oh, joy.
Oh, yeah.
One of them has us at 4 inches of snow, and the third one has us at 8 inches of snow. So, I mean, no big deal.
You know, in Alabama, we pay attention to the great James Spann.
He's a mighty good weatherman.
Mighty good weatherman. Alabama gold, if you will. Jamie Nace already hit us up on YouTube. If you want to hit us up on YouTube, you can do so as well. He's taking Indy in this game. He's going Indianapolis. He's going Indiana in this game. That's gonna mess me up. But a little lighthearted this afternoon here, going into the national championship game. So we got Jamie Nace locked in here with Indiana in this national championship game. But back to James Spann. Which model is he calling? It seems like the European model is what he keeps saying.
Yeah, he loves the European model, which I think is the 4 inches of snow. My worry is that if all 3 of them are slightly right, and we get like a 1/4 inch of ice with 4 inches of snow on top of that, you might as well just the old thing about parks closed, mouse out front should have told you. The state of Alabama will just be like, no, thank you.
We'll shut down. And this is probably going to be the weekend coming up where we put ice on the roads.
Yep.
Salt on the roads.
Kelsey, you're way off today, buddy.
Way off.
Yeah, you're putting ice on the road.
Excuse me.
Salt
on the road. It's not ice. It's going to be the weekend that
I think Jesus puts the ice on
Alabama
the roads.
puts the county of Madison County here in North Alabama puts the salt on the roads for really the only time we ever use salt is once a year on the roads. And this
I'm going to bring you guys back. We're here to talk about Miami and Indiana playing tonight.
So a couple of things we need to address.
It's sunny Miami where it's 55.
As we're 3.5 minutes into the show here.
Yeah.
A couple of things we need to address here. Paying attention to the Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram pages here, and YouTube, really, but a lot of Facebook fans, and this is where I'm going to bring you guys in on. They think we're Indiana fans.
Us?
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
And I don't know where this misconception
I almost
came
threw
into
a B
it.
word out there after that.
It's a very
Roll
similar
Tide.
color system. I mean,
I don't know where the misconception came into there. But Roll Tide all the way from here. And nowhere do we bleed Indiana red. This is truly crimson red here in Alabama. But I don't know what happened. I guess how we put together the graphic on the short videos on Facebook, first couple minutes, it'll cover, whoever's chest. Usually I'm wearing my Alabama hoodie. Right now I got NIU rep in there, but usually I'll have the Alabama hoodie on.
You are an Indiana fan.
If I'm
That's
Tom,
Northern Illinois.
Oh, I thought it was
Northern
Indiana.
Illinois.
Yeah.
No,
Tom,
DeKalb, Illinois.
cluing in from California, right? I'm watching this show.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Kelsey with an Alabama hat on, an NIU hoodie on. There could be Northern Indiana.
I just gave
Richie's
work.
not wearing his Alabama gear today. And I'm just sporting, hoping to get a corporate sponsor here. But I don't get this. If you look behind you on camera, you can see the Alabama flags back there. You can see the Bama Life deal back there. We're here at the Angel Share Garage Bar. But back to what Jamie said, give me Indy. Jamie, I went to high school with you, brother. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now that Miami defense and the experience of Carson Beck is going to shut down Mendoza.
Pops has been riding that Carson deck for 4
and the
weeks
only time we're going to see
jumping on Ruben Kane Jr.'s bandwagon over there, trying to stop Fernando Mendoza on the defensive side for Miami.
All right, let me finish my
Okay, sorry.
here.
Go ahead, Pops.
The only time we're going to see Mendoza's aunt is when she's standing up and she's worried about Mendoza laying on the ground. All right, because the camera's going to go straight to her. What's the over and under on that one tonight, Richie?
I'll give it 3.5.
3.5. The camera's only going to show her 3 times.
3.5.
3.5
3.5 times.
So, yeah,
Okay.
3.5 times. Well, if we're actually talking about the game, the over and under on this game has closed into about 7.5, favoring Indiana.
A touchdown.
It's a touchdown right there. We're looking at a close national championship from what Vegas sees out in the desert over there. But guys, we want you to get on this one today. Leave us some text questions, comments about, what do you think is going to happen in this game? Who are you taking in this game? But we're figuring out who is the crown champion of this year, and will it go to the completely stuttering hot Miami team, or are we looking at a Cinderella story for Indiana, the Cinderella story that has taken of which 2 years to build? Where Signetti's gotten to this point. Brandon Phillips hitting us up from Paducah, Kentucky. What is going on, Brandon, over there? Is it cold there in Paducah?
Brando.
Gotta be. I will say this. Go back to your original statement about some people on the interwebs, the social medias think we're Indiana fans.
Yeah.
My 2 favorite teams are Alabama and whoever's playing Tennessee.
What about Auburn?
That's it right there.
Whoever plays Auburn.
Nah, I don't care about Auburn. We're talking about little brother. I don't care about little. Here's the problem here's the difference between Auburn and Tennessee. Everybody that's an Alabama fan has an Auburn fan in their family, and you still love them. You still invite them to Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything. Tennessee is like that neighbor whose dog barks at 2 a.m. They don't cut their grass. You don't invite them to nothing.
Yeah.
And so I hate Tennessee. What was the saying? I have to hate. I have to hate Auburn. I get to hate Tennessee.
So from what I've seen the last couple of days between the fans going back and forth on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and all these places, what I've seen is a lot of fans on both Miami and Indiana's basis over there. They really, really think that they're going to one each other out. They really think that Miami is going to go out there and completely put the hammer down on Indiana, and vice versa from those fans up in the Midwest. I don't see a blowout happening in this game. And if I do, I see it in the favor of Indiana.
Absolutely. I think if there is a blowout, it is Indiana.
Yeah, Mendoza gets hot and just starts throwing the ball downfield. Launch up.
I could see, this is one of those crazy games where I could see at halftime, it's 21-7 Miami, and then Indiana just beats them 42-21. Like, I mean, I could legit see that happening. Like Miami getting out on a hot start, and Cernetti going, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. Wait till we get to the locker room.
I think eventually D'Angelo Pons will wake up this defense. And we've seen, first play of the game, in the last game that Indiana played, D'Angelo Pons put the hammer down. First play of the game, picks to the house. So there's no doubt that this Indiana defense could and would take over this game if need be. We sit here and we talk about the firepower of Indiana's offense. But at the end of the day, I think this team is more basely off defense rather than the offensive play in Indiana.
I think, first of all, I'm sorry, I got distracted by Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305 himself being on the
fire
big screen behind us. It's I think, and we saw this happen in firsthand in the Alabama-Oklahoma game, where Alabama's offense couldn't do anything. And that allowed Oklahoma to get that 17-point lead because our defense just got worn plumb out. And then all of a sudden we put a drive together. We go for it on 4th down. We keep the offense on there. The defense was able to go sit down, catch some Gatorade, catch a breather, look at the tablet, figure out, okay, here's what they're doing, and kind of make some changes and everything. And then immediately flipped this game. I think part of what you're seeing there and what you're talking about is with this defense of Indiana's is they allow the offense to have time to make some changes and do some stuff. you think about the first series with Alabama. I believe it was 2 sacks on the first series. And then all of a sudden, the offense got over there. The defense was able to, stop Alabama, and the offense was able to go, okay, here's what they're doing. Yeah, they started chipping off of the
even with
off the right tackle, and boom.
Even with Miami fans that I do know personally, they have said that the situation that Miami needs to put Indiana is his first drive. They need to put pressure on Fernando Mendoza. They need to put him down 2 to 3 times. That sounds very similar because that's what happened in the Rose Bowl with Alabama. 2 to 3 times. He got sacked, Fernando Mendoza, right off the bat. But Cignetti adjusts. And when Cignetti adjusts, it's completely put the hammer down. I mean, they flipped the script of that ball game after that first drive where Alabama looked like, okay, this is going to be made a game. And then a drive later, we see Mendoza just running out of the pocket, and he has no worry about it. Bama was still putting on pressure, but Mendoza had no issue scrambling out, following the right guard out, and getting a 5-10-yard scramble. Yep. So Fernando Mendoza and Kurt Cignetti, they know how to adjust to this. Carl, hit us up on YouTube. Pick 6, first play of the game.
If that happens.
There
better be an investigation. Because there's all this rumor mills all over the social medias right now talking about how Indiana is still in signs and they know the play before it ever happens and this, that, or another. If they get a pick 6 first play of the game, rumors are gonna, it's gonna be really, really.
So you put rumors on that. That's more of a conspiracy theory. There is literally no actual. There's no evidence that has taken place.
But if it happens again today.
If it happens again today, 100%, there will be an open investigation first play of the ball game. Okay, this will be like the MLB.
Deflate gate, fill in the signals.
Mike Trout hits 5 home runs in his first game back.
I hope he does.
Okay, there you go. There's a PED investigation opening up on Mike Trout.
Steroid investigation instantly.
Yeah, exactly. And you could see that, but I just don't know if you'll actually follow up with that. I mean, we're living in an era now where we're looking at Indiana, and they're beating teams so bad that somebody came up with the conspiracy theory that Indiana is stealing signs. Another Connor Stallion situation.
But it wasn't even that. They figured out how to hack into the.
Oh, it is a completely this is a actual action movie type. Cybersecurity. They hacked into computers and actually found a way to steal it.
Wasn't that like the original hacker online movie with was it Nicolas Cage or John Travolta?
I think that was John.
I got a shocker for you. I just decided to look it up since we were talking about it on Saturday. Do you know how much it would cost you to catch an Uber right now from Miami International Airport for a 7-minute drive to Hard Rock Stadium?
Hold on. The expected, I saw this. The expected was $18. Or excuse me, 18 minutes for that drive. You know how much that drive is turning into? It's turning into like an hour and a half drive.
As of right now, you can get it. It might be. Oh, it's 7 minutes away. So yeah, there's no telling what that actual drive is. But would you like to guess how much an Uber is for it?
$200.
I'd say I was going to go around $250.
You'd be absolutely shocked. And Uber X is only $38.
Oh wow! So I guess the whole
no reason to park.
We were going to fly down to Miami, rent a black Suburban or a white Suburban, and then drive around with Uber Black for the weekend. I guess that kind of went out the door.
Carl sent us up on YouTube saying $75.
$75.
That Uber. It's price.
So
it's a 47-minute drive right now.
So 47. So is he expected?
So if you landed right now at MIA, got your luggage, you might get there in time for the coin flip.
Yeah. Maybe.
So back to the game real quick. All right. So you've heard me hop on this bandwagon, this Carson Beck.
Yeah.
I think experience wins tonight. But really, with this game, you got 2 experienced quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's got 25 starts under his.
That's my point. Carson's got probably 150 starts at this point.
It's a 41.
7th year of eligibility. But I think that's why I'm more intrigued about this game tonight and watching these experienced quarterbacks make adjustments on the fly. Watch how long it takes them to get a play off when they're lined up under center, or they're not going to be under center, they'll be in the shotgun. But just watch how many adjustments are made, how many audibles are made when the defenders from Indiana back off or press coverage. See what Carson Beck does. And at the same time, Mendoza with his 25 starts, I think he'll do the same thing. But this is one of those games I'm so intrigued because you got two experienced quarterbacks.
Well, you joke about him having his 7th year of eligibility. I don't know if you got a chance to hear his interview when he was asked about how classes were going.
Oh, yeah. He said, I graduated 2 years ago. What classes? I mean, you're talking about a life, man. Living down on the beach somewhere in an apartment.
$4 million a year. Hanging out with rock stars and other stars.
Why would he ever
allegedly
leave Miami, right?
Because at some point in time, the NCAA is supposedly supposed to make him leave. Allegedly.
Allegedly supposed to make him. So, Pops was talking about his key point to the end. He thinks that this game solely relies really on Carson Beck. Okay? I do. And I have made it clear that I think Mark Fletcher Jr. is the key to this ball game in the ground game. And when talking about that, hitting back to the point I made the other day, Beck doesn't need to just be a standing figure. They need the RPOs. They need the short passes down wide, help Fletcher get going, and in turn, help Beck get going as well. But when you bring the safety ups and then go deep on Indiana, right? But Mark Fletcher Jr., let's talk about what he has done throughout the playoffs so far. So in the first round, Fletcher Jr. went 90 yards for 4.5 yards per carry. And then in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, he took Ole Miss, who is roughly the 60th run defense in the country, to 133 yards. 6 yards averaged on the carry.
That's impressive.
His longest run for both those games were 19 yards. Mark Fletcher Jr. is going to have a route in this game to get going. I get it. We're looking at one of the best run defensive teams in the country. But at the same time, I don't think Indiana has faced a rushing attack and an offensive line to this caliber yet. And that's including Alabama, who has had struggles with that, especially running the ball all year. They have not faced something of this caliber yet. This big of an offensive line, this physical of an offensive line, to create those gaps for Mark Fletcher Jr. to get going, to get 3-4 yards of carry.
My only disagreement with that would be Ohio State. I think Ohio State is the closest thing
100%
that they've seen to Miami. And Ohio State only put up 10 points against them, but only allowed 13, which is still a loss for anybody who's doing math at home. But if this Miami team is able to, and I think the biggest problem is they've faced teams that can run the ball.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they just quit trying.
33 rushing attempts for Penn State, which was the closest team to come in route to beating Indiana this year.
Yeah, that was this close.
So
his toe hitting
and keep in mind, Mark Fletcher Jr. also against Texas A&M, while they were the 7th-ranked team in this country, put up 172 yards on 10 yards per carry.
That's insane.
Let me play a little devil's advocate with Fletcher. Okay, you say he's got a ground pounder, right? His yards per game, like total value, is 94 yards per game. Okay?
Yeah,
that's rushing and receiving. Is that difference making?
100 yards from a running back in college is difference making.
This is total. This is receiving and rushing.
Well, in my opinion, it is because, especially in the college game, that takes the wind out of the game very quickly from the other team.
Yeah. So to be fair, in the 2 games that I'm seeing right now, that Fletcher did play in, and that he actually received receiving yards for that. So Ohio State, he had 25 yards in that game receiving. Yeah. Against Virginia Tech, he had 22. Only 2 games I'm finding where he has receiving stats for that.
Well, but my point is this: so we talk about difference makers, right? And, I say Carson Beck is a difference maker because of his experience. This game tonight is just another game for him. 100%. I know it's a national championship, but he's been in the spotlight before. He was on Georgia. He was with Georgia for 3 years. He gets these big games, right? But then you keep saying that Fletcher's the difference maker when 19 carries for 90 yards against Ohio State. That is great. Considering, Bama, our rushing game this year is terrible, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at what he did against Ohio State. If he mirrors that production, if he gets 19 carries for 90 yards and 2 catches for 25, I think he's a difference maker. But if it's below it, I don't know if it's difference-making stats.
Well, what I'm saying is what I believe is Carson Beck cannot win this game by himself, okay? And that doesn't fall in the hands of a receiver to help him do that. Obviously, it's going to help out Malachi Toney picks up 100 yards in this game, but that starts with Carson Beck. To take that pressure off Carson Beck and put more on the line, really, Mark Fletcher Jr. has to show up, and he needs to get his 130 yards rushing to make a real dent on this Indiana defense that, to this point, we've looked at as unstoppable because no team has done that. They haven't put up those godly rushing yards against them.
Okay, let me ask you this. I call you tonight in about – the game kicks off in, an hour and a half, so give 3 hours later. I call you in about 5 hours from now, and I tell you Miami won the game.
Mm-hmm.
What is the stat you think is the most glaring that caused that win?
130 yards from Mark Fletcher Jr.
Oh, I know what it is. I'd say it's turnovers.
Turnovers, okay.
Or time of possession.
I was gonna say third down conversion,
controlling the ball,
controlling the ball, and everything. Okay, so I call you in 5 hours, and I'd say Indiana won the game. Is there a specific stat that you think would shine?
Turnovers, time of possession. If Mendoza turns the ball over, Miami just plays its normal game. Miami wins the ball.
I think
it's had big wins getting here. Okay?
I think it's time of possession,
but I don't think Indiana has to win time of possession to win this game. I think Miami has to win time of possession to win this game.
Yeah.
I don't think Indiana has to win the turnover battle to win the game. I think Miami has to win the turnover battle to win the game.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? There's not – I asked you if Miami wins, what's the stat? You immediately had 130 yards rushing. I asked you, does Indiana have a stat? And
Indiana.
There's not one. Which I think goes back to what I think I said Saturday, which was Miami has to go win this game because Indiana is not going to go lose this game.
Signetti is not going to let him just go lose it. He will make adjustments.
And if he does, then I will eat crow and come on here and apologize to anybody and everybody. But I don't see Indiana going out there and going, oh crap, that U is on your helmet across the field.
Oh, I'm scared.
I'm scared. Because if that was the case,
they played Ohio State this year.
They played Ohio State and Alabama. They played the two biggest helmets there are in the game.
Speaking of eating crow, Richie, this week on Facebook, you have been eating up a lot in ways of and I don't think this is actually the comment you made, but this is the comment that a lot of people went through and tried to decipher because they believed that you had said this in some sort of way. From what was perceived on Facebook was that you had said that Indiana wouldn't panic down 17-0.
They wouldn't. I'll say it.
I don't think they would.
I think
and a lot of people on Facebook have said one word. They've called you delusion.
Let me look at the camera and give my best Signetti impression. This is Signetti panicking.
Okay,
he's just going. He's not going to panic.
For those of you on the social medias that called me delusional. First of all, they haven't been down 17-0. I'm almost certain they haven't been down 17 all season. I'm not even sure they've been down 10 all season.
Anybody scored 17 to put them down.
But no, watching this team and watching this coach. At no point in time in the 17 years that Nick Saban was on the sideline at Alabama, did I ever see that man panic down or up. Hell, he panicked more up 17
with a minute to go in the national championship. Remember him watching his headset?
He was mad that they were dumping the Gatorade on him when the other team still had a timeout left, down 40. It was ridiculous. So yes, I don't think Indiana would panic down 17. Now, would they go to the sideline and possibly make some adjustments? Absolutely, they would make some adjustments. But I don't think I would see them panicking. Now, on the other sideline, if in an hour and a half, Indiana's up 17-0 on Miami, you're going to see them putting their belts back on to hold their pants up before Indiana puts belt to ass.
I like what Carl says online. He says they're too experienced to panic. Their average age is 42.
We got an hour before kickoff here, leading you up to the national championship game not here, but in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. So, back to this is, I'll tell you what, though. Here's the benefit of the doubt, I don't think. The people calling you delusional are the same people that think we're Indiana fans.
Oh, well.
And at the same point,
you can be wrong twice.
31. So here's your ratio here. 31 people commented on that video. About 26 people said you're delusional.
Miami wouldn't. When I said that Miami wouldn't panic down 17,
yes.
Indiana wouldn't panic down 17. 26 people think I'm wrong in that statement.
So about 7,000 people have seen that video.
Okay.
Yet, 26 people called you delusional and 31 people commented. Well, there's your ratio.
I'd like to thank the 26 people from Miami that commented on the video.
That think you're delusional.
That think I'm delusional.
They're
obviously from. They're
growing the off the bench college football show.
That's it right there. One view, one comment of being delusional at a time.
If you love me or you hate me, just keep watching.
Yeah.
Brandon hitting us up on YouTube again. Thanks, Brandon. You've been so kind this afternoon, hitting us up here and sticking with us through the show. Fletcher had 90 yards against Ohio State. I don't see him getting more than that against Indiana. He's a Big Ten guy.
Brando's an Illinois fan.
Illinois guy. Oh, yeah, he's closeted.
He was one of those guys. I remember at the beginning of the year, he was talking a little smack. And I think Illinois got its butt spanked by Indiana.
Well, so
they took 3-0 or something.
They took the belt off.
So Brando listening right now, he's watching right now. The funny story I have about Brando is I think he's a closeted Notre Dame fan. And that's because the one time not the one time, but we were at his house, watching the game one time or something.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a Notre Dame shirt on. And I think it was actually a basketball game.
Oh.
And he had a Notre Dame shirt on, and I was full. I think he claimed that it was a comfortable sweatshirt, and I was like, I'm sure they make them for Indiana or Illinois. I'm sure they make those sweatshirts for Illinois too.
Not that comfortable.
So I know for a fact he's a diehard Illinois.
He is.
I know that. I've seen pictures of him sitting sideline at basketball games. And
all right.
Brando's a good guy.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Brando, bring us up there. We'll sit with you on the sideline for a basketball game.
Yeah.
Carl hitting us up again on YouTube. The hotter take is that this Indiana team is a goat of a team. How big of a win does it have to be to dethrone Burrow's LSU?
I just think they have to win.
I have been saying it.
I don't know where you'll find this argument that this Indiana team is comparable to 2019 LSU, which was the best team that I've probably seen in my lifetime hit a college football field.
I'll take 2020 Bama.
But it helps that there were so many iconic moments during that run and after that run when you have Ed Orgeron looking at Joe Burrow in the post-game interview and he goes, "Go easy on that cigar, boy."
My gosh,
that's the only two words. The only two words you understood that man saying.
Hey, Richie, what was the Bama score that year against LSU? And LSU beat us at home.
Yeah,
it was like 52-49. It was a shootout.
Yeah.
And that's why I say that I'll take 2020 Bama over LSU. LSU played some close games that year.
Yes.
Okay? Bama was one of them in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
There you go right there. Carl hitting us up again. LSU beat Bama by 3, just remember.
Yeah.
So here's my reason for saying that 2025, 2026, whatever you want to call it, Indiana is 2019 LSU.
This would be 2025.
The 2025 team winning the 26th national championship. Is the 2019 LSU team is because they came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They've gotten hot all of a sudden on the back of the Heisman Trophy quarterback. They brought in a coach who seems to understand the mindset of an Indiana team.
Yeah.
And they're going to ride this wave. But that's what LSU did. And 2 years later, they put some grease on Mr. Orgeron's chair and lit it on fire. And then about 3 months later, they told him to take his $70 million, and he asked what door did he want them to walk out of?
Yeah, he'd say, "Hey, show me the door, guys. Hand me the door."
Now, that being said, two big differences. Even if Indiana goes 2-12 for for the next 2 years, they're not going to fire Cignetti.
No.
Let's compare this real quick. Okay. 2019 LSU versus this Indiana team. Let's look at quarterback. Is Fernando Mendoza better than Joe Burrow? Remember, Burrow put up 5,600 yards that year, comparable to.
No, we talked about.
Okay,
that.
Mendoza has like
Mendoza has the worst stats of any high school.
But let's go through this whole team.
Hold on, give me 2 seconds here. I'm not comparing Mendoza to Burrow.
But you're comparing the whole team.
I'm comparing who was in 2019, who was undoubtedly the best team on the college football field.
It was LSU.
And who their quarterback won what award?
The Heisman.
Okay. And they had a bunch of guys go off to the NFL, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In 2025, who was the undoubtedly best team on the college football field so far with an hour before kickoff?
Indiana.
Okay. And
I think Indiana is still a better team than Miami, regardless of the outcome tonight. I mean, you could talk about head-to-head, fair enough, but you look back at the regular season.
As far as the season is concerned, yeah.
Yeah, Miami was at risk for not even making the playoff.
And Indiana's quarterback won what award?
The Heisman.
Okay, and they got a bunch of guys that are fixing to go play on Sundays, correct?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, so, but I'm saying, like, okay, I just want to keep comparing. I cannot tell you. I cannot remember Indiana.
Can I go stats real quick for you guys? We'll do some comparison real quick. Let me go some numbers. Okay, 2019 LSU Tigers, right? Point score 726. 2025 Indiana 639. Points per game LSU 2019 48.4. Points per game Indiana 42.6. Second nationally. They're not the number one scoring team like LSU was. Okay. Right? Defense, right? Overall balance, points allowed 328 total for LSU. Okay, here's the difference right there. And we are talking Mendoza. We keep coming back to the Indiana offense. Defense of Indiana, points allowed.
Okay.
166.
It's almost half.
Yeah. So so if you want to make that argument,
yeah,
because of the defense, Indiana's a GOAT.
Is that one of the best? Is that like the least number of points given by? Like, is that even beat like the 2016 Alabama team?
Is it fair to bring out this argument?
What?
LSU had to play an SEC schedule versus a very good Alabama team. There was other good teams that I'd have to remember. Okay, 2, Indiana, half of their teams are cupcakes and the bottom tier of the Big Ten. So Pops, do something real quick. Yeah. Look up Indiana stats, just singular player stats throughout this year. Okay. No, it's not. Go to ESPN. Go to ESPN 2025 Indiana roster. Okay? I've got LSU's pulled up, and we're going to run through this. Okay? So like we were talking about, Burrow is completely far and beyond. I believe he's a way better quarterback than Fernando Mendoza.
Just can't stay healthy.
Yes.
And he ended up in Cincinnati.
We're talking about the statistics.
I know. I'm just saying.
The 2019.
Valid point.
So Burrow, 5,600 yards. Running back situation. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 1,414 yards.
Rushing yards, Ramon Henby, 1,060. That's this year.
Okay. Receiving yards. Let's go with Jamar Chase's numbers.
Just pick one of the two.
Because that's either Jefferson or Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase had 1,780 yards.
Receiving yards, number one for Indiana, 866 on Mark Hooper.
Mark Hooper, okay.
Chase may have more yards with LSU that season than Indiana has all season.
Let's go with tackles.
Yeah.
Jordan Phillips had 113 that year for LSU.
Hardy's got 99 this year for Indiana linebacker.
Jacob Phillips.
Yeah. Interceptions.
Derek Stingley had 6.
Lewis Moore had 6.
Okay. I expected Pons to be number one on that.
I'm not at all saying that if you took 2019's LSU team and put it on the field tonight against the 2026 Indiana Hoosiers, that it would be even remotely close. LSU would beat them by a touchdown and a half.
So just the difference of the
I'm just saying that the way these teams have built up, then they're going to fall off the cliff.
You want me to pull up 2020 Bama?
No, I want you to pull up the sack numbers for this year's Indiana team. If you go to ESPN and go for this,
that's going to be high.
I get that because this is where the difference maker is going to be. And LSU was not that high on sack because it was very spread apart that year between 2 guys.
How many sacks for LSU that year?
So, not really sack totals, but I'm saying like
total sacks.
I'm saying for individual players.
I got it.
Okay, you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Kaylavon Chase-Young at 6.5 with Jacoby Stevens having 5.
Hardy's at 8, and Daly is at 5.5. Total sacks for Indiana this year is 45.
So LSU only had 37.
So okay. I mean, there's no question here
Yeah.
that we built up this case that LSU had a better offense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But I'm telling you, Indiana's defense
Is
I can looking statistically on paper, I
Yeah.
can agree to that. But I would come up with the same point that LSU had to play, SEC offenses during the SEC prime era. Nothing to take away from the Big Ten right now. But what I'm saying is LSU had to play a prime era SEC team.
I don't know who this person is spamming us in the chat window.
This would be somebody trying to pull us up to a actual live of the game.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
No.
So LSU played game 1 of the season. They played Texas. This is the 2019 September 7th. Excuse me. They technically played Georgia Southern the week before, but their first actual real game, they went and played Texas, beat them 45-38.
That's what I'm saying. There were some close games with LSU that year.
They played at home against Florida. At the time, Florida was ranked 9th, 28-42.
Yeah.
They played number 12 Auburn at Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 20-23 was the final score. Then they went and played Bama. We already talked about that game.
3 points.
Texas A&M beat them 50-7. Then they played Georgia 37-10. In the playoff, they beat Oklahoma 63-28 in the playoff game, and then beat Clemson in the national championship game 42-25.
This is 2019 LSU.
That's what the schedule looks like to me.
All right.
That last game was January 13th, 2020. They played number 3 LSU and beat them 42-25.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any question. Indiana's defense is better, and LSU's offense is better. Kelsey, you and I talked, we were blue in the face when we were walking the dogs tonight, how Mendoza, even though he won the Heisman Trophy, and, props to him. He was probably the best, most consistent quarterback in football this year. That should tell you a lot about this quarterback class.
Statistically,
right? He's got the worst.
Statistically, it was a down year for Heisman players. I'd argue it was a down year for the entire country, statistically in all areas.
I mean, so maybe we should have awarded the Heisman Trophy to a defensive guy this year.
You could have made that argument, but you're going to go 2
Rodriguez,
years. You're going to go 2 years.
Man.
You're going to go 2 years in a row without. How long was it between the last defender to win the Heisman and Travis Hunter? I mean, it had been 30 plus.
And the only reason Travis Hunter got it was because he technically was both offense and defense.
And I will die on the hill and put my gravestone on the hill that Ashton Jeanty should have won the Heisman.
I will give you this. You said Mendoza the problem's not that. I think we've gotten so used, the Heisman voters have gotten so used to having a moment that they can hang their hat on as to this is why I'm voting for this guy is this moment.
Mendoza had a moment.
And Mendoza
there was only 1 year with one game.
Mendoza was the only person that had
the catch to Omar Cooper.
That catch was, I mean, this dude's foot was like that.
So I mean, think about how different we are talking today if he doesn't catch that. I mean, does Pavia win the Heisman?
God, Lord help us.
Because they still go and play in Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship. They still make this run,
If we have a Diego Pavia type player, Johnny Manziel type player win another Heisman.
I know. There's no chance. There's
what
no way. They
happens
learned their lesson.
So
did they? Because they almost voted Pavia in there.
Did they almost?
Oh, they didn't come close to almost.
Well, I mean, sitting. What I meant was,
he was in New York.
You had to send him.
New York, right?
You had to send him because of his stats and everything, and because of the story behind him.
Yeah.
But the voters, the voters got in the back room and were like, "No chance we're giving it to that kid, right?" And they were like, "No, we're gonna give it to the kid from Indiana."
Guys, if you're just joining us, this is the Off the Bench College Football Show. I'm your host, Kelsey Upine. Co-host Richie Owens, sitting on my left. Pops crossing the camera here. If you want to hit us up, we're talking about the National Championship right now. Bring you to all the way to kickoff.
Are we going all the way to kickoff? I thought this was
I think we're going for another
20
20 minutes and then lead you just up before kickoff.
I need some wings before kickoff.
Need some wings before kickoff. Guys, you can answer any text questions or comments. You can ask us what's going on. Just if you have any questions here about the about the national championship, just coming right into the game. Richie, I know you have a pressure for wins here, but we are being a little lighthearted today, trying to figure out just
we don't have pressure of the radio. We're not going back and forth with the radio station today.
Speaking of wings, where is my friend Ray Ray?
I
thought he was my friend. He used to hang out. He used to bring us food. He used to talk. He used to wear his little Texas beanie and sit there and look cool
throughout the season. And Ray had joined us, and Ray got the nickname Ray Lopez.
Oh man, look at this, Kelsey. Look at this comment online.
ZB hitting us up on YouTube. Do any of the three hotlines make the fantasy football playoffs?
I came in fifth.
I unfortunately came in last as I present my notion to knowledge toward college football rather than pro football is my excuse for not making the playoffs.
We did discuss this earlier in the season. We do need to, during the off season, we need to talk. We need to do some what ifs. We need to do some if Kelsey or Richie became president of the NCAA, how would we fix college football and everything? And we also need to do the absolute worst fantasy football punishments. And then we need to decide which one. And then next year we need to have an off the bench fantasy football league and actually figure out what the punishment is going to be for last place.
I'm down for this.
Okay,
yeah,
so Carl was
content creation,
and that was PJ, by the way, who made that comment.
Yeah, I did see that. PJ.
How did PJ do in the fantasy league?
Did he make the playoffs?
I'm getting he better have made the playoffs.
I'm not going to check out fantasy league playoffs in the middle of the show.
Look that
to
up?
see what happened there.
PJ, did you make the playoffs? Yes or no, man?
It did not come in positively.
Since I was distracted for a moment when you were talking about that, apparently ESPN, who just ran an entire commercial, they have an ESPN original. It's not even a 30 for 30. It's not it's not an E60 or anything. It's an actual some sort of documentary just called Nick Saban. And so I'm very intrigued by this information.
I'm distracted by PJ's comment. He was the best non-playoff team. Hey, PJ, I came in fifth. First four make the playoffs, so I think I was the best non-playoff.
So does that make PJ the Texas of this year's fantasy football team?
What,
Texas
didn't make the playoffs?
The best non-playoff team?
Maybe Vanderbilt. Texas.
Vanderbilt.
Eli is now calling me out again because I was in another fantasy league. Apparently, I had finished ninth in that one, of which I had no recollection of.
Well, when you finish ninth, you really don't remember much.
This was not the league that I'm in with Eli over here. Hit us up on YouTube. I had actually won that league before. I'd won that league multiple times before. In the last couple of years, of course, I picked Christian McCaffrey last year, which he was hurt.
So if Jamie says if Indy loses, he'll gift us 40 crappie fillets, or I'll take your fish. They win, and I will do tailgating for a Bama home game for 60 fillets and sides. All right, on the damn quad.
That sounds like a win.
Okay, you're gonna be frying fish.
We're making plans for the quad.
For frying fish.
Why are you asking? Why are you questioning this right now?
I guess when we figure out which Bama games we're going to be live from the quad from.
Man, that's another thing we can talk about.
That's another thing we're going to have. Yeah.
I wanted us to do each week, go schedule by schedule each week, and go. You can only go to one game. You can't go to the same place twice. You can't see the same team twice. Each week, looking at the schedule, who would you want to go see next year? And so I think that would be
if we bring that up, we got two people online right now that are probably going to live that life, and it's probably Bernie and Carl, who go to just about every stadium in the country.
I have a bucket list of going to every NFL stadium. Maybe not necessarily seeing an NFL game, but I got to go see Morgan Wallen play at NRG Stadium last year, and that was absolutely amazing.
We saw the Morgan Wallen concert in Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And that was tough, though, man, seeing all that damn.
Does he performs in Tuscaloosa in a few months?
He does.
Does he come out in the Alabama shirt?
No. He's too much for Tennessee boy, man.
For that.
I got a ticket.
He's too much.
I had a ticket connection. I lost it.
I'll tell you what. I'll spoil something right now. I got 2 tickets. I'm taking my favorite 9.5-year-old 4-foot-tall blonde with me.
So Carl says it's.
You might want to clarify that.
Carl's making a lot of comments.
My little co-host, my co-host Alice, is going to ride with me to Tuscaloosa for that one.
Bernie says College Station on September 19th, so he wants to go to Texas.
Well, Bernie,
College.
if we can find a sponsor to send us down there, or if Bernie wants to be the sponsor, more than welcome.
This episode
We're more than welcome to come down there.
This episode of Off the Bench is brought to you by Bernie.
All right, Kelsey, we are at the 45-minute mark. We said we were going to go 15. I think this is more like kind of like bussing with us at this point. Let me bring us back to the game.
It is, yeah.
We're at commercial break right now. So any changes on your picks? I know you picked Indiana last time.
I got Indiana.
Kelsey, you were Indiana.
I'm still on Indiana. Yeah.
And you wonder why people think you're Indiana fans.
Well,
right?
what I had said all of last Saturday's show was change my mind. Change my mind of why Miami could and should have a path to win this game. And I still have not been convinced. I understand of what they need to do, but the positives for Indiana outweigh the positives I see for Miami in this game. I understand what Miami needs to do. They need to ride Mark Fletcher Jr. and Carson Beck's experience into the dirt. That's how they win this game. Reuben Kane Jr. on the defensive side needs to put pressure on Indiana. But when that happens, Signetti is going to change his tune. He's going to change things around a little bit, get in his groove, and they're going to get back into that ball game. I don't see I don't see Miami being able to recover after that. If that's how the game goes, how I just laid it out.
First of all, Carl, I wouldn't waste my time going to the Iron Bowl. It's not going to be worth watching next year.
Oh, that's a good point.
Alex Gullish is going to get that team under control. There's panic. Don't worry
Who's playing
about
quarterback for them?
It'll be Byron Brown.
With all
it'll be
50 players?
USF's quarterbacks last year. USF's quarterback. Gullish is one of the best offensive minds in the country. There's a reason Alabama would schedule him every year going into the Tennessee game, third Saturday in October for the past couple of years, because he runs the same offense as Tennessee, because he was the OC there, and he's a darn good offensive play call.
Man, man, there's been so many comments going back and forth here. I'm trying to get Carl off the page. All right.
But okay, back to your point.
Yeah.
I've gone
back and forth several times. Deep down inside, I kind of want Miami to win this game.
Yeah.
And I know we've said, the U's not back. I want college football is better when the U is there.
You think that the U is back.
They're in the national championship game.
That doesn't mean they're back. A version of the university.
I'm watching these guys right now.
Version of the U is back. The University of Miami football, Hurricane football, is back.
My favorite part.
The U is not back. That is not back.
My favorite part about all the U talk is because I believe ESPN's done 2 different 30 for 30s, the U and everything, is for some reason those seem to end on January 1st, 1992. I was a wee little lad. I was 9 years old. I was sitting on my grandparents' couch watching the University of Alabama absolutely curb stomp the Miami Hurricanes in New Orleans.
If any viewers remember week 1, where Richie, this was your tryout on the show.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was
week 0.
Week 0 was Richie's tryout on the
show. Was that
and he made the show.
Game?
No, that was week 1. This is week 0. So this was your tryout on the show.
Yep.
I think.
Here I am. I haven't made it this far. I don't know.
In week 1, week 0, we discussed Auburn's claims on national championships.
Yes.
And going back into it, I think we still had Miss Bugsy on the show Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how old I would have been during these national championships.
Yes.
If you guys remember this or have any recollection of this.
Yeah.
So back in 92, I just want to point that out there. I would have been negative 11.
Yeah, Kelsey wasn't around.
Wow.
He wasn't around.
Can you believe Auburn's head coach won 7 national championships and still got fired this year?
That's a rough statement.
Man, that's tough.
That's a rough year.
Hugh Freeze, one of the best
he added
head
7
coaches
national
of all
championships.
time. Just 7 national championships.
7 new banners hanging in the rafters.
And still getting fired.
Wow. I mean, that's worse than James Franklin.
It is worse than James Franklin.
It's terrible. Speaking of which, not to completely throw the show for a complete loop, which college head coach is most likely going to take one of these 19 open spots in the NFL? I know I'm over-exaggerating. I think there's 9 open spots. The Bills have made the playoffs 9 consecutive years.
Yeah.
They've won a playoff game 8 consecutive years and just fired their head coach. Does Stark or Kalen DeBoer or Signetti?
We've heard the Sark, DeBoer, Kirby Smart drama that's followed through this. I don't see those 3 guys doing it.
Dan Lanning?
I don't see Dan Lanning doing it. I think he's locked in at Oregon. And, there's guys out there in the NFL. I mean, the head coaching carousel in the NFL is just really changing jobs over. We saw what Vrabel did this last year, took a year off from the Titans after getting fired. And now I think it's 354 odd days later. He's the longest tenured head coach in the AFC East. And then not on top of that, but he's got his team in the AFC Championship. But my point with all that is there's so many coaches from the NFL. Mike McDaniel, who got fired from Miami, he's going to land a job somewhere. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL.
So young, too.
I think he might get an offensive coordinator job. I don't think he's another head coach right now.
Tomlin, the rumors with Tomlin's contract with the Steelers is weird because Tomlin.
So that's 2 more years, right?
Yes, and he wasn't fired. He left. He left willingly.
He retired or resigned.
Resigned. However the word. So technically, a team has to trade for him.
Is there a college coach that is going to take the step? Is there an NFL team that's going to make a phone call to a college coach? And how crazy does that make the transfer portal?
I don't see it happening.
Let me make a dollars and cents approach to this. Right? Yeah. Kalen DeBoer, how much is he making a year at Alabama?
Is it 11?
It's 10.
Yeah.
Kirby, how much is he making?
Like 12.
12, okay. Dan Lanning, you brought up Oregon. How much is he making?
It's 11. Right.
Okay, Stark, how much is he making?
Well,
these guys are not going to leave college football.
Fignetti's contract, he just went from 4.5 to 11.5 because
there's a lot of money in college football right now, especially for head coaches. And I want to make my point about Tomlin. The rumor was the other day that Tomlin was in Tuscaloosa.
I would love it. He can be defensive coordinator all day long.
So why would Mike Tomlin be in Tuscaloosa? What are the reasons we could follow? Is there a true reason he would be in Tuscaloosa? DeBoer wasn't negotiating a contract with him to be another offensive or defensive assistant.
He could be Alabama's always been really good at bringing in those guys to be advisors. They could hire him as an advisor on the team, and he would still not technically be affecting his NFL contract when he retired.
But I don't think it would matter with an NFL contract or going to move into college football. I think he would still be hired as a coordinator in that aspect, but I don't see Alabama changing their coordinators this deep in the cycle, especially with Grubb and Womack. And Womack's defense was good this year. He would go on the defensive side. So back to the analyst conversation, that's where Tomlin would go.
I just think that college coaches are college coaches and pro coaches are pro coaches.
Yeah, but you got to get there somewhere.
You saw what Saban did. I mean, he went up
there,
didn't get the pick. If he would have gotten Drew Brees at Alabama, in Miami that year, in the draft when they were trying to make that trade,
he'd still be there.
All of that.
Well,
he would have probably taken Miami Dolphins.
It wouldn't in the draft. It was a free agent decision because Brees was at the time with the Chargers, right?
Yeah, there was a trade involved.
He couldn't make
one doctor said. Do you know what the highest paid coach in the NFL is? I just looked this up. I was actually intrigued by it.
What was it?
Oh, it's got a Packers head coach?
It is not. He just got an extension, by the way. It is Andy Reid. Do you know what his salary is per year?
15.
No clue.
It's 20. 20 million
a year. It's a lot of cheeseburgers.
That is a lot.
Of cheeseburgers.
My point is, when you're making 10, 12, 13, $14 million like some of these head coaches are in college, right? That right there is generational wealth.
It is.
And they're making that every year. So is there really that much of a difference? 10 million.
I will say this: the difference is,
there it is. 10 and 20. That's
a little bit of difference. The big difference to me is there's 133 teams in college football.
Yeah,
there's 32 in the NFL.
So do you think the worst college football coach in the NFL is better than the best college?
Yeah, coach? but think of it this way.
The worst college football coach in the NFL Is he better than the best college?
No. I think the top 5 or 6 of best college coaches are far and away better than the worst NFL coach.
But let's look at Kirby's contract right now. You know the one thing that separates Kirby's contract out of all the coaches in college football, okay? And this also kind of includes the pros because, to my knowledge, I don't think there's any pro coaching contracts around the country. It used to be in Saban's contract. When Saban retired, Kirby got it his contract.
Which is?
If another college coach gets paid more than him,
yes,
he automatically
gets a bump
and an extension.
Yeah.
So why would Kirby ever leave
the
Bulldogs?
Well, I don't think Kirby would. I think Kirby is a college football coach.
100%.
I think there is a couple of guys. I think Dan Lanning would at least go for the interview. I think Stark would at least go for the interview. I think
Stark has been in the NFL. He flamed out as an offensive coordinator.
But I think he would at least go for the interview.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cignetti would at least take the phone call.
Cignetti's too old. He doesn't want to go through another rebuild. This guy's 60 years old.
I'm not saying you got to go through a rebuild. You get picked up by the right team and the right stuff. There is no such thing as a rebuild in the NFL for the right team. Now, granted, the Browns have been bad for a million years. The Carolina Panthers somehow
couldn't fix it.
The Carolina Panthers somehow made the playoffs because the Falcons and the Tampa Bay were like, no, please, you take it. But there's a reason that the Steelers have not had a losing season in 19 years. It's because they're a good football program. They understand how to play football. They're not great at winning the big game. They're not great at like beating the best of the best, but they are pretty good at winning football games more than they lose football games. But I mean, the Bills just fired their head coach. They have arguably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the world right now signed to a contract. You telling me you're not answering? Nick Saban would at least take the phone call.
Well, that does not make sense decision. That's Miss Terry. I think we learned that a long time ago. But would Miss Terry go to Pittsburgh?
I'm saying Nick Saban at least answers the phone and hands it to Terry.
I don't think that. Terry's going to laugh at it. You want me to move to Pittsburgh?
No, to Buffalo, even worse.
Buffalo? Pops, what did you just put on?
An explosion to bring you guys back on track.
To get us back on track.
All
right, guys, we got 2 minutes left in the show, guys.
Game. It's Championship Monday.
2 minutes left in the show, guys. Real quickly, too. Guys, if you're looking for a good hat, and I'm a big hat guy, right? I'm a big hat guy. Go check out Branded Bills. I'm not big hat. Like, I don't control the hat industry, but I am a big hat guy. Wear one all the time, especially during the show. I reached out to Branded Bills. They've been a huge affiliate partner of the show. Really good guys over there. Make a really good, high-quality product. Pops over there tried on my hat one day and said, is it going to fit my head? I got a big head over here. It fit his head, and it was comfortable.
I'm not wearing it tonight, unfortunately.
But, guys, go check it out in the description. Branded Bills. Go pick one up from them. Good quality over there. Great hat. I'm big hat. I control the hat industry. Oh, my bad. I don't control the hat industry, but big product over there, and I really enjoy the hat. Got it over the holidays, and I'm still wearing it now. It's probably going to be my hat this year, the hat that I ride out throughout the year, and then get another one after that, because that's just how I roll. So,
and while you're down there in the description, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell. So if we do these fun little lives, an hour before kickoff of the national championship game, or we decide to watch a playoff game or something, you can get notification of it, and you can continue to hang with us.
So, not a lot of time left here, fellas. So, locking in our final picks for the national championship games. Guys, in the comment section, John Little hitting us up. Also, he's he watches regular watcher of the show. He's a regular here on the Off the Bench College Football Show. If you guys want to get into the comment section, give your final picks for the games, as we have a little over half an hour till kickoff left. Go lock it in right now. Hit us up in the comment section.
-7.5.
-7.5. You take the points, leave the points, whatever you want to do here. So I'm still in belief, not a formal pick-ups, but I'm still in the belief that Indiana is still going to take this game. Nothing has changed my mind up until this point. I think Miami can be competitive, but I do not believe that Cignetti's going to be outcoached. I don't think this team's going to be outplayed. Give me the Indiana Hoosiers as my final lock-in pick.
What's your final score?
Ooh,
Pops, we're coming to you next.
31-21.
31-21. So you got Indiana 31, Miami 21.
Yeah.
52 points.
That's 52. So that's the over and Indiana minus 7.5. Okay.
Yeah, taking them both.
I'm going to flip that. I'll take Miami 31. Indiana gives up the most points it's given up all year. And Miami's defense steps up and puts a lot of pressure on Mendoza early in the game. And we see at least 4 appearances of
You're taking
Mendoza's aunt.
On the Mendoza aunt.
I'll take 2 appearances. I'll take 2 appearances.
Taking the under on the. I tell you what, I have gone back and forth on this silly game more times than I'd like to admit that I have. I know it's. I don't actually think it's going to be a good game. I think the final score is 42-14. I think Indiana almost covers the over by themselves.
Ooh,
I think Cignetti holds up the trophy. He smiles for 30.2 seconds, or whatever the under is on that. And this game is over halfway through the third quarter.
All right, Kelsey, can I get some shout-outs real quick before you close us out?
Go ahead, Pops.
All right, so online tonight, guys, we can't do this show without you guys, right? Got 9 people on right now. Hey, man, that's better than what we had in week 0, right?
Absolutely.
John, Carl, Paul, PJ, Bernie, Eli, can continue going here.
Jamie
Nace. Shoot, there's others up top here. Brandon, yeah, thanks, Brandon, for joining us again tonight, man. But we can't do the show without you guys. Listen to what Richie has to say. Like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff with the socials. We put out those little minute-long little takes every week. Kelsey's doing a good job editing those things. Hey, follow us, guys. We'd appreciate it.
Guys, just remember you can join us back here on Wednesday for the midweek update. We'll be recapping what happened in the National Championship game. And, of course, Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 a.m. right here in North Alabama at 7:30 a.m., 103.9 FM, Jocks, Huntsville. And, of course, live right here in the Intro Show Garage Bar on YouTube. You can find us here on Wednesday or Saturday. Guys, thank you again. You guys make it possible, and we're happy to be here and just be guys, talk about some college football. This is going to be fun with some off-season conversations, moving into some stories, some what-ifs, and how the future of college football is going to roll on. So we'll be rolling right through the offseason. Do not forget about the show. We're going to be here right here doing the same thing, just no games going on, and we'll be leading you back up to the season that starts, if I remember right, September.
We got spring games coming up, maybe.
Hey, spring game. Well, we'll see if the spring games actually happen this year. But this has been
too cold to talk about spring games.
It's very cold. Guys, this has been the Off the Bench College Football Show. We'll be back with you here on Wednesday for the midweek update.
Be nice to people.